The butterfly's secret. In the heart of the English countryside, nestled between rolling hills and ancient woodlands, there was a quaint village called Ashbury. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, where cobblestone streets wound through rows of thatched cottages, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. The village was known for its lush gardens, meticulously tended by its inhabitants, and for the vibrant butterflies that fluttered about, painting the air with their delicate wings. Among the villagers was a young woman named Eliza. She lived in a small cottage at the edge of the village, where the forest began. Eliza was a quiet soul, finding solace in the beauty of nature and the tranquility of her surroundings. She spent her days tending to her garden, her fingers gently coaxing life from the soil, and her evenings writing poetry inspired by the world around her. One bright spring morning, as Eliza was watering her flowers, she noticed a particularly beautiful butterfly. Its wings were a stunning mosaic of colors: blues, purples, and golds shimmering in the sunlight. The butterfly seemed almost magical, its presence filling Eliza with a sense of wonder. She watched as it danced from flower to flower, its movements graceful and effortless. Over the next few days, Eliza saw the butterfly frequently. It seemed to have taken a liking to her garden, returning each day to bask in the sunlight and drink nectar from the flowers. Eliza began to feel a connection to the butterfly, as if it held a secret, waiting to be discovered. One afternoon, as she sat beneath the old oak tree that shaded her garden, the butterfly landed on her hand. Eliza held her breath, afraid to move and disturb the delicate creature. She felt a strange sensation, a tingling warmth spreading through her hand and up her arm. The butterfly's wings shimmered more brightly, and for a moment, Eliza thought she heard a faint, melodious whisper. Intrigued and a little bewildered, Eliza decided to visit Mrs. Whittaker, the village's resident wise woman. Mrs. Whittaker was known for her knowledge of nature and her uncanny ability to understand the secrets of the natural world. She lived in a cottage at the far end of the village, surrounded by herbs and plants of all kinds. When Eliza arrived, Mrs. Whittaker was in her garden, tending to a bed of lavender. She looked up and smiled as Eliza approached. "Good afternoon, Eliza. What brings you here today?" Eliza recounted her experiences with the butterfly, describing its beauty and the strange sensation she had felt when it landed on her hand. Mrs. Whittaker listened attentively, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. "Ah, the butterfly," Mrs. Whittaker said thoughtfully. "They are more than just pretty insects, you know. Butterflies are often seen as messengers, symbols of transformation and renewal. They carry secrets of the natural world, secrets that can only be revealed to those who are open to their magic." Eliza felt a thrill of excitement. "What do you think it means, Mrs. Whittaker?" The wise woman smiled. "Perhaps the butterfly has chosen you for a reason. There may be something it wants to show you, something important. You must be patient and attentive, Eliza. The answer will come in time." With Mrs. Whittaker's words echoing in her mind, Eliza returned to her garden, determined to be patient and observe. Over the following weeks, she continued her daily routine, but with a heightened sense of awareness. She watched the butterfly closely, noting its patterns and behavior, feeling a growing sense of anticipation. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky was painted with hues of pink and orange, Eliza felt a sudden urge to follow the butterfly. It fluttered around her garden, then flew towards the forest. Without hesitation, Eliza followed, her heart pounding with excitement. The butterfly led her through the trees, deeper into the forest than she had ever ventured before. The air grew cooler, and the sounds of the village faded away, replaced by the rustling of leaves and the calls of nocturnal creatures. Eliza kept her eyes on the butterfly, its wings glowing faintly in the dim light. Eventually, they reached a small clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center of the clearing was an ancient stone altar, covered in moss and ivy. The butterfly landed on the altar, its wings slowly folding and unfolding. Eliza approached, her steps cautious and reverent. As she reached the altar, the butterfly transformed. Its wings grew larger, shimmering with an otherworldly light, and its body elongated. Before Eliza's astonished eyes, the butterfly became a luminous being, ethereal and beautiful. The being smiled, a serene expression on its face. "Do not be afraid, Eliza," the being said, its voice a gentle melody. "I am Eliana, a guardian of the forest. I have watched over this land for centuries, protecting its secrets and nurturing its life. You have been chosen because of your love for nature and your pure heart." Eliza felt a mixture of awe and humility. "Why have you chosen me?" Eliana's smile grew warmer. "The forest is in need of a new guardian, someone who understands its beauty and its fragility. You have shown kindness and respect to all living things, and your heart is attuned to the magic of the natural world. Will you accept this responsibility, Eliza?" Eliza's mind raced, but deep down, she knew the answer. She had always felt a deep connection to the forest and its creatures, a sense of belonging that went beyond her everyday life. "Yes, I will," she said, her voice steady and resolute. Eliana raised her hands, and a soft light enveloped Eliza. She felt a surge of energy, a warmth that filled her entire being. The light faded, and she found herself standing alone in the clearing, the butterfly once again perched on the altar. She felt different, more aware of the life around her, the whispers of the trees and the songs of the birds. Eliza returned to her cottage, her heart light and her mind filled with a sense of purpose. She continued to tend to her garden and write her poetry, but now she also spent more time in the forest, caring for its plants and animals, guided by the wisdom she had received. The villagers of Ashbury noticed a change in Eliza. She seemed to glow with an inner light, her presence bringing a sense of peace and harmony. They spoke of her in hushed tones, calling her the guardian of the forest. Eliza embraced her new role, knowing that she was part of something greater, a timeless bond with the natural world. And so, the butterfly's secret was revealed, transforming Eliza's life and ensuring that the beauty and magic of the forest would be preserved for generations to come.